live, technically.
Oh,
This I want to take this post, share this with our patrons on Patreon.
On Discord.
Mark Greenberg asked like a half hour ago, "Are you going to stream the podcast for patrons? For $10 and up patrons, you're damn right." Disable. Why is this not working?
Are you streaming off of?
Did it even fucking go through? Is my Discord freaking out? We're live. We are live. That's not a good question. Da, 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 da. Thanks for asking. Okay, did the post go through to patrons? It did. Okay. Just really slowly. All right. Well, since wait, let me double check. Yeah. Thanks for asking. All right, we're live, baby. Live, baby, live. I guess it's fun to have the actual stream up here and see people chat in the chat. Like last time. There is someone watching. Wait, no, it might have just been me watching twice.
Hey.
Hey! All right. Okay, hit record on the audio.
Way to go.
Boom. All right. Good. Stop picking up background. All right. Giggity, giggity, goo. How do I do? Hey, boo, boo. Oh, damn it. These are getting hard.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Must not have been airtight.
I hate when you have hard gummy worms.
Oh,
God. Have you seen this video? Not that we're watching now, but...
No.
Oh, God. I'll save it for later. That's freaking hilarious.
I'm sure we're lined up here. I have my phone ready just in case. Yulia's like, I need the door open.
Yeah.
You know, I did just realize when you raised up the mic earlier that it like totally is not by my mouth, and
I know.
I'm always leaning down into it. Like if I actually put it up here,
Yeah, right?
it might actually work better. Might.
Yeah, it might.
Or it might not, because I'm not used to having such tall microphones.
Tall microphone. I know. I put mine down last time because all of a sudden I looked over. I'm like, that just looks really weird.
It's just so tall. Like, look how tall the mics look
Yeah, I know.
when they're at the low.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, nah, you know
Yeah.
what? Maybe I am just going to keep it low.
Yeah.
Just lean into it.
Yeah.
It'll look better once we get the other camera hooked up.
Because it can be back.
That's something to purchase for this upcoming week.
Ah, yes.
Is the cord I need to do that. Plus, use a wide angle lens, which just makes it just you might get some edges, but I can crop it out. And it'll be good. All right. Let's actually see what it looks like live here.
All right.
Make sure that we're both in frame good. I'm the only, Mark. You are usually the only one watching. If sometimes Edward pops in too. Yeah, we haven't technically started yet. This is set up.
Well,
okay, yeah. It's going.
we're behind the scenes, but you know.
All right, here we go. All right, that was for the editor. Nate, be aware that I'm gonna try to be on the podcast in June.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
Sounds good, Mark. You know we put sign-ups at the beginning of every month, so you'll see. All right, we gotta get this shindig going. We're starting late, so it doesn't really matter. It's still only gonna be like an hour.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Nintendo Prime Podcast, episode 66.
Woo!
Road to E3 Week 4.
Week 4.
Man, can you believe we only have 2 more of these and we're at E3?
And the second one of them will be coming up as we're there, right?
Yeah, it'll be going live the Monday
So-
before them. We'll already be there
week
before
6
that.
is going
But
live.
it'll be recorded before we leave,
Right.
edited before we leave, and uploaded before we leave. So it'll all be ready to go, but we'll
Yes.
keep it on our normal schedule. And that one's the betting special, so it's not really time sensitive per se, although
Yeah.
EA has their thing going on, so maybe stuff gets announced. But
Yeah.
whatever, the betting special is before that, and that's just, you guys will just live with it.
Right.
Even if we already know, okay, Eric won because he swept the EA.
Right.
Anyway.
Because all that matters is Madden.
All that matters is Madden. He was right on Madden on Switch, and I'm like, no, he's right. He wins. Automatically.
Right? Automatically.
Anyways, it's just Eric and I again this week. I apologize for that because I don't know where Darren is. I'm just gonna be completely transparent. I tried tried messaging him yesterday. I tried messaging him 3 different times today, including tonight before the stream, and he just never got back to me. So I don't know what's up with him. I did mention he did get hurt at work last week. It's entirely possible he's on some strong pain meds, could be passed out.
Hopefully he's okay.
I think everything's okay, but you know, I don't know. He hasn't got a hold of me. So we're just going to go with what we got and make it work. You guys have seen just the Nate and Eric several times. I could mention, you know, the elephant in the room.
Where is
New
it?
merchandise!
Oh, yeah. Oh. I was like, where's the elephant?
the Nintendo Prime hat. There is going to be a link in the fully edited version of this in the description where you can go check out the hat. You can buy the zip hoodies, blah, blah, blah. You guys don't really care about the
Until they're
merch, do ya?
possibly not available anymore.
No, the hat. Oh,
The
yeah.
hat, well.
I did buy the hats. I don't know if they're available. Yeah, no, they were still available last I checked. So yeah, you can go buy the hats. It's just an interesting thing with copyright and Nintendo. Blah, blah. So this is our third-party week. This is where we go over games coming from third parties that we already know are coming to Switch that we're going to see at E3 or likely will see at E3, and then games that are announced by those companies that aren't currently announced for Switch. Maybe they'll come to Switch, and then obviously we'll talk about what games from these companies that might not even be on this list that aren't even announced yet that we want to see come over to Switch. And we're just going to kind of go company by company. I think I got like 8 different companies down, and then some other random games from other companies that are basically known for one game. So let's just hit it hard. We're going to start off with Ubisoft because Ubisoft has been one of the top supporters of Switch. We've seen in the past, let me see, Uno and Monopoly, but beyond that, also Rayman Legends Definitive Edition, which was a Wii U port. We've seen games like Mario + Rabbids Kingdom Battle. That's probably the most notable one from them. And yeah, we know right now. We know this was announced at last year's E3 that Starlink Battle for Atlas is coming to it. That's the one where kind of looks almost like a Rogue Squadron kind of game, but like you can build your ship like in the real world with like physical Lego style pieces, and like it appears in the game.
Yeah.
Look really funky. Now they did say that's not
awesome.
They said it's not required that you use the physical stuff. You can get it all in game, but it was just kind of like
it looked awesome
for the people who like the toys of life. That's cool.
Yeah.
And we know that Ubisoft has announced that Starlink Battle for Atlas is going to be shown at their conference.
Oh,
so,
nice.
So that's one game we know is coming to Switch. Looks very interesting. We'll see if it ends up being like it put me off. The Toys to Life thing kind of put me off a little bit, but then when I saw it in action, like very few little glimpses of it last year, I'm like, dude, that looks sweet. And I really hope we get to play it this year when we're there.
Those chips looked freaking awesome.
I know. I got to get my hands on this game when we're there. This technically is not an announced game yet, but I'm just assuming Just Dance 2019 is coming. They've been a Just Dance game every year for 10 years?
Yeah.
I mean, I just assume another one's coming. So I threw that on the list for games that we know we're going to get from Ubisoft.
Right.
Donkey Kong Adventure DLC. Now, did you see the trailer for it?
I did.
It is.
I think I saw most of it. I
it
was
is
at work when
one of the most hyped DLC I've seen in my life.
Yeah.
Cranky Kong as a rabbit.
Rabbit Cranky.
Like the freaking DK Bongos are back.
Yeah.
He boomerangs with a banana. Like what? A whole new world? Whole new island?
Yeah.
Bunch of different, like, oh my gosh, that DLC is massive hype.
It did look awesome.
So we know that's probably going to be shown. If it's not shown there, it comes out by the end of June anyways.
Oh, please be playable. I doubt it. But
and this one is almost infamous for anyone who's been paying attention to Switch almost since before Switch came out. Steep. It has been announced for Switch for over a year.
Hey.
Have not heard anything about it since it was announced.
Hey.
It's a game that's already released on other platforms.
Yay. So
I'm guessing the Switch version's been canceled. But technically Ubisoft still lists it for Switch. So technically it is a pre-announced game for Switch that potentially could be shown at E3. Probably not in Ubisoft's conference, probably more like in Nintendo's if they're going to show it at all. But because why would they show an old title in their current conference with new games? Yeah. That feels like something that Nintendo would show because it's only an announcement for their platform.
Right. I get you.
Now those are the 4 titles we either know 100% or know for sure we are getting at some point, or at least are announced as coming to Switch in the case of Steep. These are other games we know that they're going to have at E3 that are not currently announced for Switch. The Division 2, Beyond Good and Evil 2, For Honor. I knew it. She's going to be calling. I just knew it. Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
You might want to put all the toys that are outside back in the garage.
Well, I'll do that after the podcast, hon. Yeah, and I can't go out in a storm and put the toys in the garage? See, Mark Greenberg, this is the joy you get watching our podcast live. I'm going to go take care of it.
Yes, he's up right now.
Relax. Yeah, I'm slow.
Sorry, Martin. Oh, and cue the Jeopardy music here. And yeah. Oh, yeah, my phone's right here. Oh, goodness gracious. Fun stuff. Is it actually supposed to weather? I don't know. Is it supposed to weather? Yeah, that's a great question. Huh. Oh, yeah. Hey, how about that? It is supposed to weather. Fantastic. Ollie's up too. Fun. Hooray, weather. I suppose I could pull up. Oh, right. I can't pull up. I can't pull up the chat. Yeah, because I'm not a Patreon backer. That's funny. Oh gosh, I'm too lazy to get up and actually look at the PC. I can't read it from here. Hooray! Hi, Mark. I wish like I said, I'm just too lazy to get up and actually read the chat. So I didn't sleep well at all last night. So I think I got 3 hours of sleep, if that. So it's not that I don't want to talk to you. It's just I'm tired and really don't want to get up.
What's Mark saying?
I don't know.
He said, Eric, how long you growing the beard?
I don't know. Till I decide to get a haircut.
Yeah, he'll show up as a baby face one week.
Oh, yeah.
That'll kind of be it. All right, shall we continue?
Oh,
I'm like, it's just water. It's a storm.
get screwed, baby rabbit.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. Because when Yulia gets home, she's just going to bitch some more.
I know.
She's in a mood.
Yeah, I know.
All right. So we have For Honor. it's weird because it's a game that's already come out, but they're listing it for E3, which tells me it must be a big DLC thing. Skull and Bones. It's a game they announced last year at E3. It's kind of like a pirate-only take on what they did in what was it, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag.
Okay.
All the pirating stuff out there.
Nice.
It seems to be a pirate-only take on that. Then there's Transference, which I don't know absolutely nothing about. And they didn't list this for E3, but I assume it might be there in the next Assassin's Creed. Don't know if it will be, but because Ubisoft put out an announcement about some of the games that are going to show up, and then they said they're going to show off a bunch more besides that.
Yeah.
So
one would assume that if they had one ready, they would be showing it.
Yeah, so we'll see on that. So first off, is there anything on what we know is coming to Switch that you're excited for?
No, the DLC for Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, obviously.
You're so excited you haven't watched the trailer on its own yet.
I watched it through your video.
That's not on its own.
So, it's close enough, right?
I mean, it does replay it like 4 times, but then you don't get the full music effect. Come on. I'm just kidding. No, that I figured you were going to go with Donkey Kong because, one, Mario plus Rabbids is awesome. Right. And two,
really play. I mean, Starlink Battle for Atlas sounds. I mean, it looked awesome.
Good. We need to see more.
Right.
To really know if this is going to be worth our time.
I'm not a gigantic fan of Just Dance, so
Just Dance, baby, come on.
I mean, whoop-de-doo.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, sure.
That's it. We got to have a dance-off on Just Dance.
No.
I'll end up going full body motion. You'll just flick your wrist and you'll somehow win.
Yeah,
because that's just how I always lose to people who do that. So obviously I'm going Starlink. You're going Donkey Kong. I think those are obvious reasons. Of the games we know are in development, like... is there anyone that stands out as, man, I'd really like to have that on Switch?
I don't know. No, I mean, Skull and Bones sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, new IP.
I mean, it sounds cool.
It is a new IP.
From what I've never seen anything on it. I've never really... So, I mean, it just kind of sounds cool from your description of it.
Well,
I mean, pirates, you gotta like pirates.
Yeah, well, the thing is...
Never really played much for Assassin's Creed, so if it's there, I mean, cool, but...
Well, if we look at realistically, the Division 2, the first Division game was made on the Snowdrop engine. That's important because Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is a Snowdrop engine game, and they said the Snowdrop engine getting it run on Switch was super easy, which tells me there is a chance that Division 2 could come out on Switch. Now, at first I kept thinking, but, I mean, the original Division... didn't necessarily light the world on fire. So do they feel like they need to bring that out first on Switch to introduce the Division to the crowd, or do they just say, screw it, just Division 2 it up and see what happens? I think that's got a high chance of coming just because the engine is on. I think porting is going to be a little easier than usual. Right. And then my hope is that everything else is built on Snowdrop, but we don't know. That I'm pretty sure because the first game was. Now, Beyond Good and Evil 2 had rumors last year before it was announced that it was going to be announced and it was going to come to Switch. There was even rumors that it might be Switch exclusive, like for a timed exclusive or something, that Nintendo maybe helped pay for. We obviously don't know if any of that's true, because all they did was have that. They used it to end their conference last year, and then that was that. We didn't really. I mean, they showed a little bit of gameplay behind closed doors, but it was even less than what we saw of Starlink Battle for Atlas. So like it was so not enough to really judge anything on. So I mean, that's probably one that I think a majority of people would like to see on Switch, just because it's been so long and it looks so different from the last Beyond Good and Evil that it feels like it could stand on its own. And it looked hella cool last year. We'll see if it holds up this year. For Honor, I don't have a lot of hope of that coming to Switch. I know it's technically a game that's been out before, so they could do the old port thing and include the new DLC.
It seems to be the direction that they're going in.
Yeah.
Hey, look, it's a X many
that's what Bethesda's
month or year old.
That's what Bethesda's been doing.
Yeah.
Ubisoft, besides Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, I mean, they haven't really committed any of their newer games. So, Skull and Bones. Again, we need to see more of it, see how it differentiates from Black Flag more. Because what we saw of it looked okay, but I'm like, but now we have Sea of Thieves out there. We've seen this pirating mechanics, at least from what we saw last year in Assassin's Creed 4. So how does this stand on its own as its own unique thing? So, and it's a new IP. Ubisoft does like to hit on the new IP, so I would like to see that. I don't know what Transference is.
Yeah.
So I can't comment on it. I'm sure when I see it at E3, I'll be like, dude, that looks sick. Because
right.
usually when I watch Ubisoft conferences, there's not a single game they show besides maybe when they show off the crew or a racing game I'm not interested in that I'm not like, oh my god, that looks cool.
Right.
Now, Ubisoft is the king of making their games look way the hell better
Than they
visually than they do when you actually play it.
Yeah.
They kind of do little puff pieces, PC max settings on PCs that people can't actually afford.
Right.
With Titan XPs or Titan
Yeah.
Vs now or whatever.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Why not?
And like, I want Assassin's Creed Origins on Switch. I want to be very clear about that. I know it can't come to Switch because the engine it's on is very convoluted, and there's no way in hell Ubisoft is going to invest to get that engine to run on Switch. But the next Assassin's Creed, I would love to see it on Switch, even if it ends up not as good as Origins, because I'm a sucker for Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
I've always been a sucker for Assassin's Creed games. I'm always going to be a sucker, I think. There's something about the time traveling mechanic and going back to the past, and like, I mean, come on, last time was ancient Egypt of all places.
Yeah, right. That is.
I
cool.
mean, that's just so sweet. And then they've done the Renaissance period before, which is most people's favorite series of games, were the ones that took place with Desmond in the Renaissance period.
Yeah, close enough, right?
You know, so like, I kind of want the whole list, and I can see a pathway for all of it if they're all in Snowdrop. But my thing is, like, if I could only have one of those games, personally, I would go for Assassin's Creed because of my affinity for that series. But I think the Beyond Good and Evil 2 would be the best because or Skull and Bones because it's a new IP. But I think Beyond Good and Evil 2 is basically a new IP at this point.
Yeah.
With how different it looks from the first one.
Okay.
Is there any Ubisoft games that aren't announced or aren't known about that you would like to see come? Like any game that you know from them that you haven't heard of in forever?
Oh God.
I mean, I already know of one that you're gonna kick yourself if you.
Yeah, probably. I can't think of any right now, but.
Well, geez, what did they just cross over with?
What, Mario's and Rabbids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what haven't we seen in a long time? We've just had a Mario game.
Yeah.
What haven't we had?
A Rabbids game?
Ding, 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 ding. You haven't had since what, the Wii era?
Yeah, that's
It's
very
been a
true.
long time.
Yeah, that's very true.
And so, like, now, with Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, though, like, a Rabbids game,
Makes
it feels
sense,
like a good time.
Makes sense, yeah.
Like, drop that Rabbids game in there because Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle just made the Rabbids relevant again. And if there's ever a time to drop a Rabbids game, it's now. You know, jump off of that DLC coming out and get that Rabbids game out there. Now, it needs to be a good Rabbids game, by the way. And I know it's always been like a mini-game focused game. But come on, if Nintendo can make WarioWare hang on as long as it has, Ubisoft can find a way to make Rabbids work. I hope. Or just bring another Rayman game out and just have the Rabbids play half the roles in it.
I love the one meme where it's Mario asking Rayman if he wants to do a cross. It looks like he's asking Rayman if he wants to do a crossover. But then Rayman's like, yeah. And Mario's like, no, actually, I was talking to that guy. And they pan off to the side, and it's just a rabbit standing there going,
yeah. Sorry, Rayman.
yeah, right. Nope.
Rayman's always been more relevant. Not anymore. So, yeah, I figured that was one that you would be at least interested in looking at. I don't know if you'll buy it.
Right.
Because it's minigame focused, but if it looks hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
I know you love the Rabbids. If it's hilarious,
for sure.
you'll probably pick it up. I know I kept thinking about Ubisoft's catalog of games. I can't think of too much besides what's already here that I really want to see. And I'm sure I'm going to kick myself because there's probably some IP out there that I love that I just haven't seen in a while.
I'm sure there's going to be people yelling and stuff in the comment. How did you think of this? Why didn't you think of that?
Because
it's quarter to
It's not the time.
For me, it is.
It's not the time. It's that I had to put this whole list together, so I'm thinking of a zillion different companies at once. It's all jumbled together for me. Well, all right.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next company because this will be an interesting conversation.
So
we're talking about EA.
Yes.
And I know a lot of you guys out there really hate EA. Can't blame you.
Yeah, right.
They do a lot of, let's just say, anti-consumer methods in games that probably don't need those anti-consumer methods. But it makes them money, and they are a for-profit company, so that's just what they do. Technically, as of right now, there are 0 announced games from EA for Switch. Absolutely none. They've only ever released 2, FIFA 18, and then that smaller indie kind of style title in Fey or Fee. Yes. I forget how you pronounce it.
Right.
From what we have heard from Nintendo and EA themselves, they were happy with the sales of FIFA 18 on Switch. Now, when you hear the words happy with the sales, that would suggest they're going to bring the next one. Right. But this is EA we're talking about, so they might be happy, but it's not. Like EA doesn't like just being happy.
They need to be impressed or wowed.
No. It's not even impressed or wowed. There is happy with the sales, and there is all of the sales.
Yeah.
They want all of the sales, and if it's anything less than all of the sales, like what happened with Dead Space, they tend to be like, you know what? Yeah, you are one of the best-selling Dead Spaces of all time, but you didn't hit 6 million. You only hit 5. We're done. Even though Dead Space has never sold 6 million before.
Yeah.
We're done. So it's like, they might be happy with the sales because maybe they got their return on investment and even made a little bit of profit off of it. But you know what?
Right.
They didn't get, tons of millions of sales, because if they did, they would have said, hey, we sold 3 million, we sold 4 million. Instead, we have no sales figures. We just hear they're happy. But assuming that happy means that it's sold phenomenally well, then FIFA 19 is
Makes
probably the
a
most
lot of
likely
sense, yeah.
game because we've already got FIFA 18.
Right.
And if it sold well, then it would make sense for them to do FIFA 19. Now, I will say, EA, if you do FIFA 19, it's time to bring the current gen version. You can't just keep using the old gen versions and passing it off as new stuff. You can get away with it for the first one. Apparently, you did get away with it. Okay, whatever. People are just happy because it's the best portable FIFA ever. Well, now you want to make it the best FIFA ever,
Well,
in my opinion.
wasn't it?
And you will have more development time to make the current. You would have had the same development cycle you always have for FIFA
Yeah.
with Switch in the fold the entire time.
Yeah.
You could argue maybe you weren't fully committed to the Switch at the time.
Right.
But now you released FIFA 18 and you were developing FIFA 19 while Switch was on the market, meaning that there's no excuse not to bring the full version of FIFA this time. So let's hope that happens. If it happens, I might even check out FIFA. I mean, if it's at E3, I'll check it out anyways. But like, I might actually consider buying it. And I'm a sports game guy, and I don't play a lot of FIFA, but I know we have a lot of FIFA fans out there.
Oh, no.
You want me to play some matches with you? You know what? I'll pick up FIFA. I used to play soccer games before. I played a
No.
lot of FIFA as a kid.
You said it's the best portable FIFA out there. Isn't it the only?
No, there's been ones on 3DS and stuff in the past.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if FIFA had come to 3DS.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
They are contractually obligated to release FIFA on every platform.
Oh.
So DS had one, 3DS had one, there's one on phones. But
Oh,
like,
okay.
yeah.
At least one.
Yeah.
They have to
There's
come-
always
they
at
have
least
to at
one.
least
Yeah,
one.
they have to at least one, according to their contract with FIFA. That's the thing. That's why it's like, oh, did EA really support them with FIFA, or was it like, well, we have to do it? So we'll just give you an old version that we don't have to put a lot of effort into. That's what I felt like it did. Doesn't mean it wasn't good.
Yeah.
Because FIFA's been really good for a long time. So even an older version of FIFA on the go is still really good. But I really want to see current physics, current engines, current
You're
stuff.
right, for sure.
So we'll see. We'll see if they did it. We'll see if they ported Frostbite or whatever they're using. I think it's Frostbite.
I think so.
So we do know about some other games that are coming from FIFA. One of them on here is not technically announced yet, but it's been coming out every year for the past 3 years. So we know there's a new Dragon Age game in development by BioWare.
Okay.
That's been announced that they're making one. I think that's probably one of the big games EA is going to show off this year. Dragon Age Inquisition ended up being one of the best-selling. I think it is the best-selling BioWare game ever. So it made
Nice.
sense that they're making another Dragon Age game. Madden, again, that game's not technically announced yet, but it comes every year.
Right.
Battlefield 5, they just had a reveal event for Battlefield 5.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
NBA Live, that's the one that I said has been coming out every year for the last 3 years. I assume they're obviously selling enough to keep competing with 2K.
Yep.
And then Anthem. And Anthem's the big new IP they have coming.
Okay.
And that's big because EA doesn't always do big new IPs, so good for them.
Yeah.
Now, EA did last year, that co-op game that released early this year that they funded and took no profits from, surprisingly.
Wow. Wait.
It was the one that was made by the guy at the Game Awards that was telling people to F off.
yeah.
But now I can't remember what it's called. It's making me mad. It's
remember that
really
guy.
good, too. Apparently, it's one of the best co-op games released in, like, decades.
I like
But-
that guy.
but
That
yeah.
guy was going off the
Yeah,
walls.
anyways, so EA has funded, like, a new IP like that, but
Yeah.
it was a really weird partnership with EA. Usually, it almost felt like we're just going to throw money to look good. Like, we're going to pay for this, and all we want is our money back. No profits. You keep all profits.
Yeah.
And it was very profitable. And I'm not saying EA is kicking themselves, but that's why that game's not littered with microtransaction stuff, because EA, I think, was trying to make a good gesture. But you know what? If EA didn't do it, the game wouldn't exist. So EA's not completely evil. They're not all the way
Yeah.
there. Even if it was a selfish PR kind of move,
Right.
it benefited gamers.
Yeah.
So got to give some credit there for EA.
Yeah.
Anthem's going to be microtransaction to hell. So all of these games probably are.
Well, I mean, or was it that the developer was like, okay, here's my idea, and I'm not gonna put any, microtransactions into it. Screw you guys, type of thing.
Okay. I know what the answer is, but which game
because there's like practically no games in it, besides FIFA, which has which should just be a continuation of the last FIFA game. What game from EA do you want on Switch?
Well, yeah, I mean,
I know what the answer
Yeah.
is, but our audience might not.
if they don't, then
Well, they don't.
haven't been paying
We have
attention.
new listeners every week.
Yes, I
so-
know. Madden, obviously.
Madden. Okay.
Yes,
Why? Why Madden?
I'm a football fanatic, and
But
I
why
love
on
Madden.
Switch?
I love Madden. I wanted to play it on the go. I want to be able to play it wherever the heck I go.
Well, you mean that 3DS version wasn't good enough for you?
Yeah, no.
That they released like in 2012 or 2011
Sure.
or whatever it was,
Yeah,
and
no.
it tanked so bad they never made.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we're.
I don't want an arcade version. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, there's no secret that we're big sports fans, sport gaming fans, and like Madden is one of the games that we like playing the most together. We're big NFL fans. That helps as well. It's obviously a game that's only really popular in the United States, but
Yeah.
that's fine because it's the most popular sport in the United States.
Mhm.
It's. I might cream my pants if it's announced for Switch.
Right?
Like a full version.
Yeah.
I'll initially get excited. It's announced. I'm like, wait. They did this on Wii U, and they gave us the non-physics version. Are we getting
Might-
the non-physics version again?
Yeah,
Like
right.
5 years later.
Yeah,
We
right.
are. Well, fuck you. I don't want
Yeah,
to.
right. I'm gonna crap myself if it's announced, and then if it's actually a recent version.
And I don't care about the Ultimate Team stuff or any of that because
Yeah,
that's
no.
not what I play. So like people, it's full of loot boxes. I'm like, yeah, you're right, it is. But it's segmented to modes I don't play, so it doesn't bother
Well,
me.
yeah, and that's the thing. It's segmented to modes.
I
so
wish
don't
that's
have to
actually
play
how
that
it.
one.
I wish
Yeah.
that's how they handled it in every game.
Yeah.
I wish they basically ultimate teamed everything. Like, oh, you have this new IP and Anthem coming out? Fine. Most of the game should not have the microtransactions, but you want to create a multiplayer mode based around it? Be my fucking guest. Separate it out from everything so
Yeah.
it's not littered throughout the game.
Yeah.
But of course, like Battlefield
Oh, no,
2, it'll
yeah.
be littered throughout everything.
Oh, I
That's just what-
guarantee.
that's just what
you,
EA
Anthem's
does.
gonna be swarmed with it.
Yeah, and it won't even have as big a backlash because it's a new IP. It's not a beloved
and-
IP like Star Wars.
and it doesn't have the big power of Disney behind it either.
Well, I mean, Star Wars' name is huge. I don't think
Well-
it mattered if it was Disney or not.
Well, I mean, Disney was like, no, this is
Well-
our name title now. No,
yeah, but
you
yet
are
they're
not
still-
going to have this
but-
be backlashed onto us at any point in time.
But they brought it back anyways.
yeah, no, I
They
know,
just waited
but-
for people to not care.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, they did get rid of I think they actually eliminated the pay to win. That was it wasn't that the microtransaction loot boxes existed, which was some people thought that was the whole argument. Fans were upset about the pay to win loot boxes. And the insane amount of hours you would have to play it in order to be on a fair level with someone spending money. That was kind of the issue. A lot. I mean, loot boxes everyone had issues with, but it was the backlash was specifically because this is a multiplayer based game and it's pay to win.
Yeah.
After you spend $60, you mean
Yeah,
it's
right,
not an
yeah.
even playing field?
Yeah, right.
Like we're not talking because of skills. We're talking because somebody just happened to have more money than you. Yeah, that was why the big backlash happened. I know senators and everything else focused on just the idea of loot boxes being gambling, but that technically isn't why the backlash was as big as it was. Everyone knew there was going to be loot boxes. As soon as they found out it was pay to win, they're like, "Yeah, no, you do not ruin Star Wars."
Yeah,
with
that
that
is.
well.
Yeah, you shouldn't ruin a game with that period. But
So here's the thing: I feel like they have to announce a Star Wars game.
yeah,
It won't be Battlefront.
Right.
I know they just canned the supposedly single player one. And they have a different studio using the assets from it to make something else. I don't know. But I feel like they have to have another Star Wars game in the works. And I wouldn't be surprised if, oddly enough, because it's EA, this Star Wars game that might get announced, whatever it is, does not have loot boxes. Specifically because they know Disney
because
has them
the-
under a microscope, and Disney might be like literally within a breath of yanking the exclusivity contract and handing it to another company.
yeah, you're right.
So I can see EA being like, look, we got to make good with gamers,
Yeah,
Star Wars
yeah,
fans,
Yep.
and we got to make good with Disney. So this next game will have microtransactions or something somewhere where
Yeah.
you straight up buy something.
Yeah.
But we're not going to put in the loot boxes because... And no, this is EA, so they might still do it anyways.
Yeah.
It just won't be pay to win. But
Right,
I
right.
have a sneaking suspicion that this next Star Wars game might be the best Star Wars game to buy into if you're a Star Wars fan. Because, one, it's going to be a top-notch AAA title, and I don't think it'll have loot boxes. So it'll be one of the one of the best EA games lately because
Yeah,
there's no
you're
loot
right.
boxes. So like obviously you really want Madden. We both really want Madden. I'm leaning. There's two games. I'll look at this list of games we know they're making. that really stand out to me. One is Dragon Age, because I'm a huge Dragon Age fan. I've played every single Dragon Age game, all of them on PC. I still think Origins is best played on PC just because of the strategy perspective you can use versus on consoles. It works on consoles, but I feel like it was better with a mouse. The same is true really in Dragon Age 2. Still, I think was better with a mouse and keyboard. But Dragon Age Inquisition, the most popular one, really changed it up. It really felt more like a Skyrim-esque, The Witcher-esque kind of RPG, rather than being a more tactical strategy style-based RPG like the previous two. And it was the most popular. I also felt like it had the most repetitive content and repetitive quests. Basically, it was the least imaginative one, but because it was in similar style to the more popular games.
Oh yeah, obviously.
It became really popular. I'm hoping they can find a way to blend the two, like bring together some of the tactical stuff, and then also do it in the style that's more popular, but bring in some of the uniqueness. So some of the worlds and the quests feel unique. But that's I love Dragon Age. I'm gonna pick up the next one unless it sours me. Then I won't pick up the one after it. But
yeah,
if there is one after it,
yeah.
The only game to say is obviously Battlefield 5.
That
obviously Battlefield's a big deal. It's not as big a deal as Call of Duty, but next to Call of Duty, it's basically the most relevant military-based FPS multiplayer game out there. And it looks like it's going to have a campaign. Black Ops 4, come on.
Whoops.
But it just for the sake of it being a big deal. And I'd probably pick it up if it was on Switch, to be honest, because I don't have any other game like this to play on Switch. So I would like to see Battlefield 5, just in terms of relevancy, in terms of popularity. I don't think they announced the Battle Royale mode for it, oddly enough. I thought they might actually Battle Royale it just like Call of Duty did, but
right.
They didn't. At least as far as we're aware, they didn't.
It wouldn't surprise me if they did a DLC Battle Royale.
Who knows? But yeah, Battlefield 5 is definitely one that I think would be an important get for Nintendo if they could somehow pull it off. But again, this is EA we're talking about. The same EA that had that unprecedented partnership with Nintendo on Wii U, and we saw that lead to one good port. one good port. It was Need for Speed, and it sold like crap. Although it was a very good port, and I give them lots of credit for delaying it and spending the time to make it a good port. But
right.
They also did a lot of crappy things, like give us an old version of Madden the same year that they released the physics engine, giving us the excuse that the Wii U can't run it, even though the Wii U is just as powerful as the hardware that was running the physics engine, because it was on an Xbox 360.
Yeah.
You still have a lot of animosity towards EA. And the thing is, I think the reason I do isn't their shitty practices. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
But it's because I love so much of the content EA makes that it just annoys me that they have to have these shitty practices, dude.
Yeah, right.
EA, next to Nintendo, EA used to be my favorite developer.
Yeah.
Every game they put out, I wanted to buy. You go get the EA
Right.
the EA Pass or whatever it is, EA Vault on Xbox. Like, dude, there's so many great games, but it's like, okay,
Yeah,
so
right.
many great games, but so many of the recent ones are littered with stuff that just feels like they're nickel and diming me, which they are.
Garbaging
And
it up. And
that's why, like with Madden, I'll still buy Madden every year because I can avoid it because I never cared about those modes in the first place.
Yeah.
The only one that they kind of suck a little bit is when they kind of turned Draft Kings into basically another MUT mode. That annoyed me a little bit because I kind of liked when they added Draft Kings and it wasn't like Ultimate Team. You didn't buy packs. So it kind of sucked when they did that because it actually reminded me more of not the play style of that NFL Blitz game, but just how you could build your teams initially in NFL Blitz where you chose players at the start. It reminded me of that, and I really like that aspect of it. But, again, at least it's kind of like it's in the draft mode, it's in Ultimate Team, and that's it. I primarily play franchise mode and online games.
Yep, pretty much.
And microtransactions are not there. The only thing I'm annoyed is that we still don't have a proper training camp back. That's it.
Right.
If they would just add proper training camp, improve the physics a little bit, update the roster, I'd actually be happy. I'd pay for it. I'm going to pay for it anyways if it's on Switch.
Right. Yeah.
Even if it's a crappy version, I'll probably still buy it because I don't have anything else to play it on right now. Unless they bring it back to PC.
Ooh.
I've been waiting for that PC version
go,
again
EA.
since 2007. Come on.
Let's go, EA. You hear not from us now.
But yeah,
Do it.
I love so many EA games. I'm trying to think if there's any that aren't on the list that I would like to see them announce. I mean, I'd love to see a new Dead Space. Star Wars we talked about.
I don't know.
Well, we have to remember they also have BioWare under the wing. I wouldn't mind seeing not necessarily Andromeda, but like the Mass
Okay.
Effect trilogy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would like to see that come over to Switch.
Put some time into.
And Switch can run the
remastering
entire
the
Mass
ending.
Effect trilogy. So like, well, they technically already fixed that. It's just they screwed it up at launch. But whatever.
well,
just get
that
the whole
was-
trilogy on Switch. Would
that
be
was
nice.
again because EA and
I'm
time
just telling
crunching
you. I would just like to see
and
the
time
trilogy.
crunching.
I, would like,
Sure.
I wouldn't mind seeing somehow KOTOR get remastered and brought back.
Ah,
Again,
Yeah.
exclusivity thing. I said Old Republic. I don't know if Disney would be cool with that, but why the hell not?
a good old fashioned
Ding!
Rogue Squadron again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, that'd be nice.
Right.
Rogue Squadron.
I don't even know. If
Pretty
which-
much, yeah. Well, all they have
Yeah,
exclusivity,
right.
so
Yeah.
yeah, they would be the ones that make Rogue
Yeah, right.
Squadron, like
Yeah.
all of them.
Yeah.
Give us all the Star Wars games.
Yeah. Bring it all back.
Bring it all back. All right, I think we'll move on from EA. There's so much animosity, but so much love for their. Like, I love their games. But why?
Yeah.
Why? I'm still gonna put up with it for some games,
Yeah.
but why? Why? I'm like this close. Like, I'm gonna buy the next Dragon Age game, and if it pisses me off, I might be done with Dragon Age, even though I love the IP so much.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be mad. So next is Bethesda.
Oh. Okay.
Now
Wow.
this is a big deal because Bethesda's been the #1 third-party AAA supporter of Switch. Period, bar none, hands down. No one's been better. Now,
Yes.
no one's been better, but all they've ever brought is old games.
Right.
So now this isn't necessarily to fault them because Bethesda hasn't really had a lot of huge games hitting in the last year. But they gave us Doom, current gen. Wolfenstein 2 was their big game last year. It's not out on Switch yet. We should be able to play it at E3 on Switch. It'll be
Right.
coming out on June 29th. So they're bringing that. We know that all works. They brought Skyrim over and yeah. I was about to give them credit for LA Noire, but that's 2K and Rockstar. So
yes.
so those are the three big ones that Bethesda's given us. And the hope is, since Doom and Wolfenstein 2 are current gen games running on their latest engine, it makes you believe no matter what they make, they can put it on Switch moving forward. So I am, out of all of the press conferences and third-party news that come out, I am most looking forward to Bethesda's conference because holy crap am I expecting basically everything to come to Switch.
Yeah.
Rage 2 was just announced.
Yep.
After being leaked, they announced it, all the stuff by Bethesda. That's the only announced game we know from Bethesda right now. I fully expect that to come to Switch. Don't ask me why, don't ask me how. I just expect them to make it happen.
Yeah.
And if they don't, then that means they're not happy with the sales that they've been getting with the game so far. But is there
That's
any
crazy.
Bethesda game you would like to see come out? Like
Oh,
we only know about
gosh.
Rage 2, so whatever.
I
Like
know.
what game would have to come out and come to Switch?
Oh God. I can't think of games developed
Games
by
that they made.
Yeah.
How about
Right.
the one I think of? This is what every Bethesda fan wants, not just on Switch in general. Elder Scrolls,
Ah, yes.
a new one, please.
I don't.
I know.
play it, so
We're
it's-
we're probably like 4 or 5 years away from Elder Scrolls 6 even being announced based on current development cycles. But yeah, I would like to see. Eric's gonna look up see what some Bethesda IPs. Fallout. That's a big
Yep.
one.
Yep.
A lot of people would like to see Fallout New Vegas port or a brand new Fallout come out and come on
Oh,
Switch.
Dishonored.
Yep.
Okay.
A new Dishonored game would be
Yep.
nice,
That
even though
that'd
they
be
just had
interesting,
Dishonored 2.
Yep.
So it might be
Well, yeah,
a little
There'd
bit.
probably be a port. Elder Scrolls. Fallout. Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, well, that's kind of
Fallout,
their
Elder
big-
Scrolls.
You pretty
Fallout.
much named all their big
Yeah.
IPs already.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
All those
That would be
IPs.
Evil Within.
Yep.
Okay.
And the Evil Within 2.
Yep.
Yep.
Doom 2.
Won't mind seeing the Evil Within series ported. That'd be
Doom
nice.
2.
Yeah, Doom. Yeah.
Oh
Oh yeah, they're making another Doom.
Oh yeah.
That would be sick if that gets announced and comes to Switch day one.
Yeah, right.
Here's the thing. All these games, by the way, at E3, day one, day and date. Please. It's time, Bethesda. Day and date. Come on.
Yeah. There's not a, I don't play a whole lot of their games, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
mean,
Elder
I
Scrolls. I
understand-
mean,
yeah.
we're not going to get Elder Scrolls.
I see the appeal for a lot of the games.
Oh, yeah.
but-
They're all Western.
yeah.
Lots of single-player games. They're
Right.
one of the few AAA third parties that are like, why is everyone doing this multiplayer thing? Well, we'll have multiplayer in some of our games, but you buy them for the single player.
Mhm.
Like we have multiplayer in Doom. You ain't buying it for multiplayer. You're buying it for the rip roaring, destroying demons, ripping their heart out single player. That's how you're doing it.
Yeah.
The Rage. Ironically, Rage 2.
Yeah, Kalima.
Like they're bringing Rage 2 back. It's so crazy to me
Yeah.
because I didn't play the first Rage, but I know people that did, and they said it was just okay.
Yeah.
Didn't sell great. It was just okay. Kind of mediocre reviews. And we're getting a Rage 2.
Yeah.
Rage 2. Bethesda also always has one of the most entertaining press conferences because okay. Ever since Nintendo started doing digital conferences, I have preferred digital because every single outside of when a new console is unveiled, I kind of like a crowd reaction to a new console. But besides liking the crowd reaction, I feel like the way Nintendo does E3 is actually better with the Treehouse live stream and the pre-recorded presentation at the start. I think is perfect. You control all the messaging. There's no mistakes because you got all the mistakes cut out. You did multiple takes. You got everything right. Whenever I watch like EA or Ubisoft or Sony or Microsoft, like there's so many dry spells that you start to become disinterested and you just start turning on Netflix and like, oh wait, did they finally announce something I care about? Oh, wait, no, okay.
Oh.
Like Microsoft's press conference this year is 2 hours.
Holy.
I'm gonna watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
But
Wait, what day is that?
Monday,
Monday?
I think. I have
Oh.
to double check. I think one
Yeah.
of them's Sunday.
Well, that's
And
also
then everyone else is Monday, and then Nintendo's Tuesday. EA's I think is on Friday. I might live stream the EA one from me.
Yeah,
I mean, my
'cause
hope is that I can get the hotel Wi-Fi or the hotel internet to work
Right,
well enough
right.
that I can actually be there and stream to you guys out there my reactions live as it's happening to all these conferences,
Yeah.
which is a hell of a long day of streaming. I'm going to be on camera for fucking like 9 hours.
Yeah, well,
you know what? That's what we
why
do.
not? Why
That's
not?
what we do. The thing is, you might be saying, but you're there, Nate. Why don't you go to the... Because I don't have invites.
Yeah, right.
I'm using a Gamer Pass. I don't have invites to these things
Yeah.
this year.
This year.
We'll see about next year. And obviously, I'll be keeping my eyes peeled, especially for during Ubisoft and EA and Bethesda. I'll be keeping my eyes peeled for third-party announcements for Switch, obviously. Now, Sony and Microsoft is just me seeing what's going on the other side of the ponds, right? You know, what are they doing? Are they somehow going to surprise us and drop a PS5 announcement out of fucking nowhere?
Oh.
Because the CEO recently said that PlayStation 4 is towards the end of its life. It's like, are you hinting that you're announcing PlayStation 5 this year to release next year?
Interesting. Very interesting.
And what's Microsoft going to do in response? Because they just released the X last year. Man. We'll see. And I don't actually think we're getting a PlayStation 5 announcement. I'm just saying, I don't know what to expect, so we'll
the
see what happens.
Xbox One Triple X?
But
Wait.
Bethesda, like, whenever I watch these conferences, there's so many dry spells. There's so much mistakes.
Yeah.
And, like, sometimes you just hired the wrong people for different spots. Like, it's cool when they bring out someone from, like, soccer or NFL and interview them.
Yeah.
But I'm like, even though I like sports games, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm not here to watch you interview a sports athlete who is being sponsored to be on the cover of the game. I don't give a shit what they think about the game. They're being paid to think good things.
Yeah, right.
I want you to show me the game and then move on to the next game.
And then they have, I think they have, like, part of me has, they have the script, and that they write in breaks for what they think is a joke, and audience is gonna laugh or react. So they write in a quote unquote break, and the people actually just take it seriously. So if they don't realize that nobody's
It's just
reacting,
awkward.
they leave that awkward break in there instead of skipping over it.
What I like Nintendo does is it just gets to the point. It's game, half hour and we're done. We just showed you 50 games. And I love that approach. I know it could be overwhelming because like, I missed the live crowd reaction. Like the 2004 unveiling of Twilight Princess. To me, maybe the greatest moment in E3 history because of the crowd reaction. And not just because of how amazing the game looked at the time and how shocking it was after we just got Wind Waker like 6 months ago. So like 6 months later, you're unveiling a brand new console Zelda that's a polar opposite from Wind Waker. Like, what? You were developing both these games at the same time? How did that even happen? No one could believe that was possible. And the crowd reaction was insane. And you do miss those moments.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I would have been just as hyped for Twilight Princess without the crowd reaction, just seeing the trailer on my own. And I feel like that's Nintendo's approach is concise.
Yeah.
It's on point.
The only thing that I would is just, you don't get a whole lot of depth into it sometimes. some of these games you're like, oh, this looks awesome. I wish they would have went a little bit more in depth. Nope.
They don't do that in the live ones
Yeah.
either.
No.
They have a developer come on stage and talk about how they had to stay away from their kids doing 120-hour work weeks and all the sacrifices they had to make. And here's a quick 2-minute trailer, or here's us faking gameplay in a 2-minute trailer with guys on stage pressing buttons on controllers that aren't even connected to the system. Or if you're Nintendo's case, fake drumming with Wii music up in the back. God, you guys remember that moment?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, it's so cringeworthy that like you're not gaining any additional information. You're really not.
Yeah.
But there's really two companies I feel like that could justify the live press conferences. Bethesda's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Bethesda nails. They never seem to do it for longer than it needs to be. That's the big thing. Like Microsoft's 2-hour one, that scares me because they hardly have any exclusives. How can they have enough content to fill 2 hours and make it entertaining? Maybe they're going to surprise us. I don't know, but how?
They're gonna pull.
No one else has
something
been
under
able
their-
to ever do a 2-hour one and keep it entertaining throughout. So how?
Yeah.
There's a first time for everything. I hope I'm wrong on that. But Bethesda, like, they'll do it for 30. They'll go for an hour. They'll go for 90. Whatever time it is, they are hitting you with game after game after game after game after game. They are basically doing. It almost looks like it's so well orchestrated. It's almost like it's not even live. But they just.
It's like they've
nail
rehearsed it multiple times.
Like, they just nail it. And they don't have, like, celebrities out there presenting things. Like, no, the CEO or the lead guy is out there, and it's just bam, 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 bam. You're here for the games. We're here to show you the games.
Well,
and it's
it is
so
E3.
awesome.
So
I know, but, like, there's so much fluff and all.
I
Like, there's,
know.
like,
No,
hardly
I know.
any fluff in Bethesda.
Yeah.
So I love how they do it. And Ubisoft's another one that I feel like they do have their fluff at times. Especially when you see every year. Why do they have to have a dance routine for Just Dance every year? Why do they every year for freaking 10 or 15 minutes they got to hire a dance group to come on stage and dance? We're having another Just Dance game. Here's a watch a bunch of people dance randomly for 15 minutes to dance moves that aren't even in the Just Dance game,
Right? Yeah.
and then show you a trailer for Just Dance. And it's like, you could have just showed the trailer for Just Dance.
Dance,
Everyone knows what Just Dance is.
yeah, right.
We don't need the dancers.
It's literally in the name.
We literally at this point, guys, it's been over a decade. We do not need the dancers to explain Just Dance anymore. But
it's
they
kinda-
still do it every year. They still do it every. I mean, they try to make it cringy sometimes on purpose. They make it funny. But and another thing I will say is I was just mocking celebrity hosts. Aisha Taylor's a really good host.
Yeah.
Ubisoft has been using her for several years now. She's cocky. She's confident, and she seems to fucking know what she's doing.
Yeah.
And she knows, like, when shit's hitting the fan, and clearly a demo's not going right, or a developer is saying something and they're just too nervous because they're never in front of all these people. And like, she somehow turns it all over. Like, she's a very good host.
Yeah, she can read the crowd well and
So she does a very good job.
read the room.
I still think Ubisoft might be better with a pre-scripted one, especially because a lot of developers they have come up are like from France or something like that, and so like when they're speaking English, they have that deep accent that just like even Yuz Guillemot, he goes up there and it's like, yeah, I understand you run the whole company, but it's like your English, while it is good, that accent just really kind of kicks me out a little bit. I'm not saying I'm offended by it. It's just it de-hypes me a little bit when you talk. And I'm not trying to be offensive to people who have accents. No, you're in the United States. This is a United States event. I know it's broadcasted worldwide, but like Aisha Taylor is perfect for it. Let her do all the presenting. But whatever. I mean, Nintendo is pretty good about sometimes they'll have Miyamoto or like in the past Iwata come out, but they're only on stage for very dinky moments. Yuz Guillemot's going to be on stage a ton. But like Iwata would come on stage and be like, hey, I'm pulling a Wii out of my pocket. Or, oh, I'm pulling a DS out of my pocket. But that's it. Then it's Reggie Fils-Aimé, Bill Trinan, like people who are native English speakers that deal with it. So, yeah, it's just kind of an interesting approach. But those are the only two. But those are the only two press conferences every year consistently that I enjoy. Everyone else I wish would just do what Nintendo does. Nintendo realized, you know what? Look how many lame presentations we've had. Look at how non-excited people were at our last live press conference when, what was the final game we dropped? Oh, right. Nintendo Land. After saying that we is a hardcore gamer, or we use a hardcore gamer console for you, and our final E3 before we release it, we're ending with Nintendo Land. The complete opposite direction of what you said this console is.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Nintendo Land's pretty good. But it's just.
Yeah, nothing against the game. It's just that's not an ender.
And then it felt like, Nintendo, you killed your live press conference yourself. You did it to yourself. No one was clapping.
Yeah.
Not even the people you hired to clap, I think, were clapping.
You're like, no,
Like-
this isn't even worth the money I'm getting paid. No.
Because like seat fillers, those
Yeah,
are like a
right.
real
Well, yeah,
thing.
yeah.
They're paid to fill the seats, and
And
fill,
try to
especially
get
in the front.
try to get a section.
Like if someone gets up
clapping.
to go to the bathroom, a seat filler will come fill in. So when you're filming and when you're live, it looks like all the seats in the front are always packed. Because like if the stadium's not packed, you'll know because they'll never pan to the back. You'll never see the 500 empty seats. They'll only show you like the front 7 rows or whatever. But it's a camera trick. 'Cause sometimes they can't always sell out or get enough media to show up. But seat fillers help a lot with that. And those seat fillers are paid to cheer.
Hooray!
And they weren't even
No.
clapping for that.
Yeah.
I think there was like the one person in front that was standing like, yeah, woo! And like everyone just staring. I'm like, you're not actually excited by this announcement, are you?
No.
Do you even know what this game is?
No, probably not.
Something with Mii's. It looks like a Wii kind of title.
Yeah.
That's how they capped their press conference with their worst to show game. And Nintendo acted like it was this big celebration. It was just really weird. Anyway, so
That's
getting back
funny.
to Bethesda, like, I'm excited there's so much unknown. I just want to
Yeah.
see what happens.
Yeah.
Moving on to Square Enix.
Okay.
We know of basically 3 total games coming from Square Enix to Switch that haven't released yet. Octopath Traveler.
Yep.
Free demo. If you guys haven't tried out the demo and you like JRPGs, go try out the demo. It's free on the eShop. And then Dragon Quest X and Dragon Quest XI are coming as well. Now they said they're waiting on Dragon Quest XI for. It's by the way, these games have been out on other platforms, so they're kind of late ports at this point. But they're waiting on an update to Unreal Engine to be able to get Dragon Quest XI fully over at the performance levels they would like it to be at. Those are the games we know are for sure coming from Square. Other games, like notable games that they have in development, they announced that they have new Final Fantasy games in development.
Okay.
So
it's not
presumably we
surprising.
might see, I don't know what type of Final Fantasy game. Don't know if it's a tactics game. Don't know if it's a full new Final Fantasy 16 or whatever. But
bring back a Crystal Chronicles.
yeah,
Please.
we don't know. They have
Please.
something. Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yes.
That's a big deal there.
Yes.
And can't forget that it wasn't so long ago that they announced the Final Fantasy 7 remake. I mean, they've announced it like twice now, I think, and it's been like a decade. But
Why not?
apparently it's been had to be
Hey, don't worry.
remastered like 4 times
Don't
in
worry.
development.
They're
Like,
still reminding you. It's gonna happen.
it's gonna
just-
happen someday.
someday.
It'll be PlayStation 5 and Xbox 2 and
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch XL number 9. But
Yeah. Right.
anyways, are there any of those 3 games that basically a brand new Final Fantasy game, Final Fantasy 7 remake, or Kingdom Hearts 3? Which of the 3 would you like to see?
It depends on the brand new Final Fantasy game.
Okay.
If it's a Crystal Chronicles type of thing.
An original. There was a sequel to it, but it was nothing like
Right.
the OG.
Right.
It was actually still really good, by the way.
It'd be interesting though to see how you would do that with the Switch, but
Why? You have local LAN and
Well, no.
online.
right, but with the your menus being on your
Well, everything would just be on one screen.
yeah.
Because if you guys
Well,
don't know,
right,
like
right, yeah.
a lot of you guys out there probably never played the original Crystal Chronicles on GameCube when you hooked up GBA. It was one of the few games that used the GBA stuff well. That one
Yeah.
and Four Swords Adventures was another one that used the GBA stuff. The GBA link well, where the GBA was your main controller, but also it was a dual screen kind of action. It was kind of really cool.
It took your menus off the screen so other people could still run around and you didn't have to interrupt anybody
And
else.
it made a huge difference in them when you got like 4-player
Yeah.
multiplayer going on. But yeah, anyways, it was basically what the Wii U was before the Wii U came out. And the thing is, it didn't really work, didn't sell that well, didn't perform that well on GameCube. That should have told Nintendo that maybe Wii U probably wasn't a good idea.
yeah,
You tried it with GBA cables. Just because you included it in the box doesn't mean anyone wants to do it. And you never did like I still they should have did a Dungeons and Dragons game or something like that, or like a Dungeon Keeper,
Well,
where like the guy with the Wii
and the other-
pack could
the
be a
other
Dungeon
thing-
Master.
The other thing that I didn't like about those was those were the link cables were not designed the best
Well, no,
because you
No, they-
couldn't, especially on was it the original GBAs, you couldn't charge and play at the same
no,
time.
you couldn't.
The SPs you could.
Yeah, I know you had to keep changing out batteries. We went through
Yeah.
so many batteries.
Yeah.
because we didn't have enough of the SPs, so
Yeah.
we'd have like 2 SPs and 2 normal ones, and we keep
Yeah.
changing out the batteries and the normal ones as we play. It was crazy. I remember borrowing my dad's SP to play, and he would just get pissed. Why are you using my SP? I'm like, because I don't have one.
Yeah, right.
and I want to light up screen.
Yeah, right.
Um,
But other than that, I mean, Kingdom Hearts 3
Whoa.
is
have you seen some of the gameplay that's out
No,
there now
I have
for it?
not,
So
but
there was
yeah.
a preview event for it,
okay.
and I've heard the controls are a little clunky,
Okay, well,
but watch the game.
yeah.
It might be the best looking video game I've seen in my life.
Huh.
I hate saying this. I think they out Toy Story
Ooh.
in terms of how good the visuals look in the Toy Story world.
Wow.
Again, I haven't had it on a TV in front of me
Yeah,
with me playing
right.
it. I've just seen trailers and seen off-screen gameplay and stuff. But holy crap!
That's
Needless to say, that might be why it's clunky.
Yeah.
Because they focus so hardcore on the visuals that there's not any processing left for
There's
the
no
controls.
there's no processing left for the controls. Yeah.
Or it just runs at a low frame rate or something.
Right.
But yeah, it's
Or not even.
it looks incredible.
not
And we've
even-
had Kingdom Hearts games on Nintendo systems before.
Or not even it runs on a lower FPS. It could just drop frames every
No,
It
It
was
looks like someone hits a button and the action happens like 3 seconds later on the screen. Again, this is all before the game comes out. It might be totally
It can be
fixed. It's
patched
just
out, yeah.
But I really want to see Kingdom Hearts 3 bad, man.
Oh,
They've
yeah,
had
for
Kingdom
sure.
Hearts games on like the DS and stuff like that. I know they're more side stories, but by the way, don't even try to follow the story of Kingdom Hearts. It is one of the most convoluted stories ever told in the history of video games. I don't even think the people that make the Kingdom Hearts games truly understand what
their story.
happens in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
You play for the spectacle, and the
Yeah.
spectacle of Final Fantasy crossing with Disney is magical on screen. When you see it in Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, even in some of the side games, but now in this one, I'm looking at that, I'm like, I'm in a fucking Disney movie. I'm in several different Disney movies. Holy shit. I'm there.
Nice.
So, yes. I don't even care what else. I don't care if they have new Final Fantasy games. I don't care about Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
Bring, I
definitely.
mean, by the way, it's not coming.
Definitely.
It's been in development for way too long. It's not coming to Switch. I know it's not coming to Switch, but plus the visuals aren't going to look like that on Switch. I don't care.
Yeah.
Downgrade the resolution to sub HD. I don't give a crap. I'll still be impressed that I'm basically
Hey,
in the world of Toy
Maybe
Story
it'll fix the
on a
the
portable
delay.
system.
Maybe it'll fix the delay then.
Yeah, maybe. Next up, we have Capcom.
Capcom.
We actually know about a lot of games coming to Switch and basically nothing else.
Yeah.
So Mega Man 11.
I see that, yeah.
Mega Man 11 is coming to a bunch of systems, but it's also coming to Switch.
Yep.
Resident Evil 7 is on here because they get this. They released Resident Evil 7 for Switch in Japan,
Okay.
but it's not really on Switch. It's a 45 megabyte download, and you're playing a cloud version of it streamed to your Switch in Japan.
Interesting.
So there's that. And I know a
Okay.
lot of you guys hate that whole thing. You think you're worried
It's-
about the ending of physical game, whatever.
Yep.
But I'm putting that on there because it's already on Switch technically. So potentially they could announce it at E3 and bring this cloud version over to the West. Okami HD. It's a remake, HD, but it's a remake of a much beloved game.
Right.
Monster Hunter. I think it's Double Cross that's been announced is coming to the West.
Yep. And isn't,
A lot of people want to see Monster Hunter Worlds on Switch, but they pretty much have told us it's not going to happen. And Ace Attorney. They said there's going to be a new Ace Attorney supposedly coming on Switch this year. That's what they've claimed. We haven't seen it yet, so we don't know. And as for games, as I said, we don't know what else they're making because there's not a lot out there for Capcom right now. Maybe you guys know of some games that have been announced that I don't, but I was doing research on it. I'm like, I don't see any other games announced at all from Capcom. So they
not
should
even
have,
just on.
they should have
not
a
on Switch, but just
in general. Yeah. So they should have a ton of new announcements, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
Because all of these are like old games, ports of old games. The only new game is Mega Man 11, so they have to have something to announce at E3.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if they're doing their own press conference, but either way, there's got to be some new news coming. Maybe in Sony and Microsoft, maybe in Nintendo's press conference. So yeah, I don't know if there's much to say on that besides like are any of those games standing out to you that you really want to play?
I don't know. No, not really.
Not really, not a Mega Man guy.
No, I like Mega Man. Just
Not interested in the Legacy collections that are out right now.
no. I like Mega Man X.
Okay, yeah, that's the next one. The next batch coming out of the X games.
Nice.
So you'll want to play the X by the next batch then. A little more pricey, but that's because
Yeah.
they're newer generations. But
I mean, Resident Evil, it's they're definitely hit or miss games.
Yep.
One of them is really good, and the next one they will go and screw something up that was good in the last one, and had no reason
try to
be
make it
fixed.
try to make it an action zombie killer instead of making it a horror game.
Well, I know it was between 4 and 5. They completely screwed up the inventory system.
Oh yeah. In 6, it wasn't a horror game. 6, I'm sorry guys.
Nice.
If you think 6 was a horror game, it's not. It's an action zombie killer. If I want to play Left 4 Dead, I'll go play Left 4 Dead. What company makes Left 4 Dead? Oh, Valve.
Valve.
That's why we're never going to see another one.
Yep.
Because it's Valve. Valve doesn't make games.
Yeah.
Damn it. That's why I think Valve's not on here. They don't make games.
Come on, Valve.
They have so many good.
At least-
They have like a handful of like top tier IP.
Yeah.
They don't make games.
Yeah, right.
They'll make little side Portal things, but they won't give us a Portal 3. So you can forget that. If 3 of anything,
Yeah, right.
Left 4 Dead 3, Portal 3,
Yeah, right.
Half-Life 3. Apparently
Yeah, right.
2 is the maximum distance for their games.
Right.
Okay, I'm just so mad about it. I got to eat some damn gummy worms.
Yeah, right.
All right. So I guess for me it would be. I mean, I love Mega Man. Mega Man and probably Ace Attorney. Mm-hmm. Love Ace Attorney.
I know. My friend Chris is really into Monster Hunter and wants me to
Objection!
Get into it, but
If it's not Worlds, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. The thing is, it's a game that came out on 3DS, so it's a port.
yeah.
It's been out in Japan. I've played it. I mean, it's good. It's Monster Hunter. I just don't care because I've already played a crap load of it on 3DS.
Yeah, and then they're apparently making a probably more than likely crappy Monster Hunter movie.
Probably. All right, the next company up is 2K. And by the way, for those who don't know, Rockstar is owned by 2K. So Rockstar falls under this as well. The only game that we kind of sort of maybe know, and it's only because it was leaked, is NBA 2K19. Wouldn't really be a surprise. It appeared that at least they appeared happy, again, like EA was, with the sales of NBA 2K18.
Happy.
We don't have any numbers. We'll know if they're truly happy if NBA 2K19 gets announced.
Right.
And I hope it does, because if the 2K18 sales did well, there's more Switches on the market when 2K19 comes out.
Right.
In theory, it should slowly perform better
Yes.
every year.
Yes, at least until
Especially if it's a quality port. It was a quality port. It had a little rough going at the start with some frame rate stuff, but they quickly patched it over the first month, and it actually became probably one of the best third-party ports.
It's not like the predecessor to the next game.
And it was
mentioned.
technically day and date, just only as a digital. They need to fix that for next time. It can't just be digital only day and date. They also brought WWE 2K18. Now, people might wonder why I'm not listing that as coming to Switch. Have you played WWE 2K18 on Switch? You don't want it on Switch again. Ever again.
Has anybody played it on Switch? I mean,
yeah,
literally,
plenty
is
of
it
people.
playable? That's the question. Has anybody actually played it?
Yeah, you bought it. Yeah, I know a lot of
bought
guys
it.
have bought it. How many have actually played?
Yeah.
Did you get past the menu?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I put games that we know are in development but not confirmed for Switch. I put WWE 2K19 because I'm pretty sure WWE 2K18 tanked. I don't know how if it did well. With the fact that no one can really play.
No question. Did it just tank on the Switch, or did it tank completely?
Well, it has
across
a
the
performance
board?
issue on all the platforms,
But
but
it was
Switch is like where it's
mainly the-
unplayable.
yeah, okay.
It's like unplayable.
Okay.
It's like completely unoptimized. And it sucks because people had hope because NBA 2K18 was so well. Like, oh, they're different development teams, different standards. And if you actually pay attention, a lot of people haven't really been happy with the WWE series for a while. Feels like it's kind of like their C team.
Bring
that's
back
on it or something.
Warzone. Yeah.
Oh man, just go WCW versus WWF.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption 2. That's
please.
the big Rockstar one coming. Borderlands 3. And then they have a Civ Online game announced.
Interesting.
Civ Online is probably the one that probably no shot. It's usually
Yeah.
just PC.
Yeah.
I know there's been some console dabbling, but I'm pretty sure that's just going to be PC only. So, any of those games you want to see over? Let me guess, the one that you're begging.
Obviously, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Did you play the first one?
Yeah.
Play the first one? You did?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
What'd you play on? 360?
360. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good. It's
I-
Rockstar, man.
Yeah.
They don't
I mean,
make bad games.
I don't mind Borderlands, but it's kind of one of those. I'll play it if I have it. If I don't, I'm not.
Sure.
I'm not gonna go.
Take it or leave
Yeah.
it. Take it or
Yeah.
leave it.
No, the ones that I really love to see come and hopefully get a new game would be XCOM. Obviously,
Nice.
that would be sweet to add it to them.
Yeah.
But it's not. Of course,
Well, it's
that's
not
not on
announced
this
right
list.
now. It's
No,
not
no.
announced, yeah.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed for XCOM.
Well, Red
and
Dead
Unknown and
Redemption 2 is
XCOM
obviously the one I really want to see.
to port.
I don't think it's going to happen, but I would like to see it. I think it's more likely that they announce GTA 5 finally getting ported over because it can run on Switch hardware for sure.
Yeah.
Versus Red Dead Redemption 2. I think Red Dead Redemption 2 would be a bigger deal in 2018, but
you never know.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Maybe it'll just be delayed a little bit on Switch. You never know.
I don't think so. I think it's just Rockstar hasn't shown they really want to do much on Switch. We did get LA Noire remastered. I'm aware. I'm aware, folks. Before you say Rockstar isn't interested, they gave us that. But that wasn't even done by Rockstar. It was done by a different company. 2K paid another company to port it over. Rockstar has yet to make a game for Switch. Like the fact that we don't have GTA 5 by now tells me if we can't even get GTA 5, why the hell would we expect Red Dead Redemption 2? GTA 5 is a last gen game. If we can't even get that, one of the best selling video games of all time,
yeah,
then we're not going to get Red Dead Redemption 2. But I'm going to hold out hope because you know what? It hasn't released yet.
Yeah.
So there's always a chance.
So you tell me there's a chance.
Borderlands 3, I've never really played Borderlands games. Is that blasphemous that I've never even tried? I know of them.
No.
I've seen them play, but I've never touched one myself.
They're fun. But they can get a little repetitive and
sure, well,
some of the characters can get really obnoxious and annoying.
That's part of the charm.
Yeah. And I was so glad when they finally made a Claptrap blow up killing DLC for the first one.
Oh yeah, okay, correction. I did play twice with you.
Yes.
In co-op, but yeah. No, like I think it was the second one we played, but
yeah,
literally. I mean, it was fun for like the 15 minutes we played.
No. They are great games. It's just the replayability. Once you've beat it, it's kind of you kind of know what's coming, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah. And then, I mean, Claptrap does have his couple of one-liners that are funny, but most of the time it's just like, shut up, go away. Other than that, I mean, there's a few really good one-liners, and some of the stories are really good.
One-liners.
But some of the stories are really good, and
Sure.
I know like some of the DLC for 2 is really good as well. But it's one of those things that yeah.
Let's move on to Activision Blizzard. Yes, it's Activision, like Blizzard. It's funny whenever I say Activision Blizzard because there are fans that even to this day swear up and down that Activision and Blizzard are not the same company. For those who aren't in the know, Activision bought Blizzard a hell of a long time ago. Mm-hmm. They also bought King. So when you see their financial reports, you'll see it separated out as here's Activision's revenue, here is Blizzard's revenue, here's King's revenue. But the thing is, they all act independently of each other in that Activision does the Call of Duties and the Spyros and they have that stuff. Blizzard does their all stuff. And because it basically came to light because Black Ops 4 is being released on PC exclusively through Battle.net, and people are getting all confused. I'm like, I don't know what you're confused about. Mm-hmm. They own Blizzard. Mm-hmm. Blizzard has a very popular delivery method for their games. Yeah. So they're going to get off of Steam and make more money by putting it on their own platform. Why wouldn't they do that?
Yeah.
So it's like they've created their own ecosystem. So it got shocking to people, but just so you know, they are technically all the same company. The company's official name is Activision/Blizzard. That's literally the name. It's not Activision. It's not Blizzard. It's not King. King's not even in the name, even though King makes more money than God because of their freaking mobile games. But yeah, it's Activision/Blizzard. Like it's Activision Blizzard. That's the name of the company now. They merged or whatever, however you want to look at it. Yeah, because they didn't want to drop the name Blizzard or Activision because they're big names.
Obviously.
But yeah, and you'll see Activision still say like, oh, Call of Duty made by Activision. But if you actually look down at the logo, it does say Activision Blizzard. Mm-hmm. That's the official name. But they'll say Activision because that's what people know. They don't associate Blizzard with Call of Duty. You don't associate Activision with World of Warcraft.
Right.
But technically, it's all the same. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so it's all combined here. The only game we know for sure coming from Activision Blizzard to Nintendo Switch is the Crash Insane Trilogy, releasing on the 29th, the same day as Wolfenstein 2.
I thought Spyro was...
No, that is not.
That just
that's
massively rumored?
That's a rumor. That is not confirmed.
Okay.
Games we know that are in development but aren't confirmed for Switch yet. Black Ops 4, which was just announced a couple weeks back, which, I mean, it's a Call of Duty game, of course. Yep. And then Spyro Remastered, which hasn't released yet.
Right.
That's it. We don't actually know about any. Well, there's probably a Blizzard game out there that's rumored, Titan. So I feel like there's some Blizzard game that's been talked about, but I couldn't find it for some reason. And then I didn't even bother to look at what King's doing because I assume they're not making any games that are going to go on Switch. Maybe I shouldn't assume that. Maybe we're getting Candy Crush or something. I don't know because Candy Crush is one of the big sellers.
That wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, it's a tablet.
It's a tablet. It's a mobile
Sure.
device. It can work.
I won't get you put Candy Crush on there. I'm not going to see my Switch again. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very interesting to me that that's kind of a thing that's happening. What do you care comes over more, Black Ops 4 or Spyro? Like for your own personal desires.
Honestly, Spyro.
Why are you laughing about that?
I don't know.
Spyro Remastered looks amazing.
Yeah, it does. It really does. I don't know, just because of my age.
So
it's one of those things that it seems like to me it would be more of a quote unquote kids game. That you gotta go. You're 30 years old. You gotta go with the Black Ops. Yeah,
no, the reputation of Call of Duty is it's kids.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's the reputation.
Yeah,
I actually dispute that, and I don't think a majority of the audience is kids, but kids do play it. The problem is usually what happens is the vocal minorities. No one, like when you go into a Black Ops match, and you hear that one annoying kid that just won't shut up. But here's the thing. Yeah. It's one out of like the 20 people that are there.
Yeah.
It's like a majority of the people there aren't children, but it's that one you always remember, which gives it the reputation that all these kids are playing it. Yes, there's children playing it. Shouldn't be, but there are, but it's still a majority adults.
Yes.
Even Activision's own numbers bear it out that it's majority adults.
Oh, right.
Like it's something like 90%.
It's just that some odd reason.
That 10% is so annoying.
It's just that some odd reason that some idiot decided it'd be a great idea to give a kid a microphone.
Oh, they come bundled in.
I know they do.
So.
I know they do.
It's the parents who are monitoring properly. You see the filthy mouth in some of those children?
No, I know, right?
What the hell? Forget the age rating of the game.
Yeah, right?
What's wrong with the kid?
Yeah, right?
You hear a kid yelling a bunch of cuss words while playing a video game?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That kid just should have all his video games taken away. My children do it?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. If you're a teenager, all right. If you're 12,
Yeah.
I don't care how much of a gamer dad is. You're not being mature enough to be a gamer.
Yeah, right?
Anyways, have some respect for the games you play. That's the way I want to raise my children. Respect the games.
Okay.
Anyways,
for this next one, you have to do it correctly though. For the next game developer, you have to do it correctly.
Well, we're not moving on yet because I want Black Ops 4 more than Spyro.
Okay.
The thing is, it's kind of like this. I don't need Black Ops 4 if we're getting Battlefield 5. If we're not getting Battlefield 5, then I need Black Ops 4. Now, I'm aware that they officially came out and said Black Ops 4 was never in consideration for Switch. But people lie all the time. So if you want to hold out hope, there was rumors that like at least the Battle Royale part of it was going to come over, Blackout. Okay, we don't know. We'll find out at E3. But yeah, I think Black Ops 4 is more of a big deal just because I think it'll attract more people than Spyro will to come to Switch. And by the way, before you talk, these Nintendo fans that are out there that say we don't want Call of Duty players on our system, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Don't play Call of Duty and you don't have to worry about those people, do you?
Yeah, right. No, exactly. Yeah. Just don't play the game. Yeah,
go play your Zeldas and your Marios and they don't prevent you from enjoying your other games, so why does it bother you? Yeah. It gives Nintendo more money, and it gives people like me who might actually play Black Ops a chance to play it anywhere I want.
Not the whole.
Although there's no campaign, so like on the go. Yeah. Damn it. That's why Battlefield I kind of want a little more, but still.
Right. No, out of the two though, I can see Spyro coming before.
Spyro's probably more likely.
Yes.
Because.
Yes.
Well, I don't actually know. I mean, it looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Just because Spyro's kind of been. On Nintendo systems, it feels more like a Nintendo game.
Right.
Well,
it's got the look and the kind of feel of it.
Dude, it looks phenomenal. Yeah. That's what it looks like. The next company.
Yes.
You want to introduce them?
Okay.
Since you're all hyped over there, apparently.
Sega. You got it.
I totally apologize for blowing people's ears.
Yeah. Oh well.
He should have backed away from the mic before he did that, but he didn't.
Okay. Fine. Martin. Sega. There you go. God. You better.
You're waking my kids up with that.
Yeah,
Julia's gonna be pissed. Anyways, Sega. So we got 3 games we know for sure are coming to Switch. Not None of them I would argue is a huge deal, but we got Shining Resonance Refrain. Looks decent. Not a game I'm interested in. Sega Ages, which is a classic lineup of games. Sonic Mania Plus. Now, Sonic Mania's already been on Switch, so like getting the Plus version with all the DLC, like of course.
Yeah.
Now, there are games from Sega we know that are in development that that we hope are coming to Switch, or maybe could come to Switch. Total War 3 Kingdoms is probably the one that isn't going to come. It's always been PC exclusive. Don't see it coming off of PCs. I know you can technically use a keyboard with Switch. Maybe it'll mouse support, and then maybe it might be something people would consider. But for now, Total War 3 Kingdoms, Total War game, one of my favorite franchises, by the way, has always been PC exclusive. I expect it to stay that way.
Yeah.
Next, they're bringing back Shenmue 1 and 2, I think in a remastered version. And we do know that Shenmue 3 is in development. Technically fan-funded / Sony paid for. Chance of that coming to Switch is so slim because of Sony's money mostly. But if we can get the Shenmue 1 and 2 remastered, I would love to see Shenmue 3. But we'll see. Now, probably the most likely of them is Sonic Racing.
Yeah.
We pretty much get every Sonic game under the sun. We had Sonic Forces last year, so I expect Switch to have Sonic Racing. And then 2 Point Hospital, which looks more like a mobile game, but
interesting.
It's a game.
Sure.
It's a game that's announced its existence.
Sure, why not?
Is there any, forget this list, because I feel like we're going to agree that Sonic Racing is probably the most likely.
Yep.
And to be excited about any of them, I guess classic Sega games.
Yeah.
Or playing
Sega
Sonic
Ages.
Mania again.
Okay.
Is there any, do you know of a Sega IP besides Sonic? I
No.
knew, because, Total War's already on there, so you already got the free cop out there that you don't have to mention Total War.
Yes.
Do you even know of any other Sega IP but, without looking at your phone, I'll let you look at your phone in a moment, but Sonic? Name me one Sega IP. And it's actually kind of a tough question because, that's the first thing people think of when they think of Sega.
I think that's the only thing that people think of when they think of Sega. Honestly.
Because I can't think of any right now, but I'm putting you, by the way, guys, I'm not just putting on, I don't know any either.
Yeah.
The only other one I knew was Total War. I didn't even know Shenmue was a Sega IP.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So come on, keep thinking. I'm gonna look up some. You can take even some guesses.
Is Pac-Man?
No, Pac-Man I think is
Is it an Atari?
Konami
Or is it
Atari?
Konami. Yeah, that would make sense that it's Konami actually.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Konami for Pac-Man.
I just thought it was, but yeah. Gall.
Here we go. There it is. So many Sonic games.
Yeah, right. Honestly,
see if some of these ring a bell.
Just Sonic.
Streets of Rage.
Nope. Okay.
Gunstar Heroes.
Okay.
Hold on. There's so many Sonic games I have to go to the different list. Because it's like Sonic this, Sonic that, Sonic and Knuckles. Yeah. Altered Beast. I've never even heard of that one. That was from the 80s.
I think I've heard of
Altered Beast. Okay. So you might have heard of the oldest game so far. God, so many Sonic.
Sounds like
so many Sonic games.
Yeah, oh, I know.
Outrun. That was the year I was born.
Okay.
That looks like more of an arcade game. It looks like kind of Cruising USA.
Oh yeah.
style.
Oh yeah. I think
I might have actually seen that in an arcade.
Go back to which one's the one that I thought I saw before?
Altered Beast. This one looks really weird from the 80s.
No, I think I might have heard of it, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
Virtua Fighter.
Oh, interesting.
Restar.
Okay.
Do they? No, they can't own that whole IP, do they?
What?
That's the only one I see. Apparently Dawn of War Warhammer.
Really?
But I don't think they actually own. They don't own the Warhammer IP. They just made that one game. Warhammer.
Okay.
Jet Set Radio.
Ah.
How can I forget Jet Set Radio?
Very
Alien Isolation.
Okay.
God, that terrible game. Virtua Cop. Phantasy Star Online. I forgot to mention that there actually is a Phantasy Star Online 2's coming to Switch.
Nice.
I know it's an old game, but it's coming to Switch.
Nice.
Wow,
it's a game that I've actually heard of. Oh wait,
they own Tetris.
They do.
The OG Tetris.
They do.
They made it apparently, or funded it, or something.
Really?
It's listed under Sega.
Oh, that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Bayonetta. They technically own part of the rights to the Bayonetta franchise, because they paid for the first one to be made. So them and Platinum and Nintendo
have
joint rights to Bayonetta.
Well,
Nintendo has no rights to Bayonetta 1. It's Bayonetta 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Yakuza, that's actually a series they've had going for a little bit. So I've heard of that one because they have one on Wii U.
So Sonic.
Chain Chronicle.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I'm going through this. Where's the Total War games? I know about them because I'm a huge fan, but I don't think if you weren't a fan of them, you'd know. Yeah, Yakuza. They said back in 2016. Valkyrie Chronicles. That's another one. Valkyrie Chronicles 4 is coming to Switch. Yeah, that is finally one that you're like, okay, yeah, now that one I've actually heard of.
Yes, I have heard of. Well, outside of the couple of,
Yep.
Wait, is it really?
Total War Warhammer, released in 2016.
Okay.
Sonic Force.
Yep. Sonic
All-Star Racing.
Sonic.
Yakuza again. There's finally a Total War.
Hey. Oh, Rome Total War?
Yeah, one of the most popular ones.
Yeah.
Dinosaur King.
Sure.
The Knights series. Forgot about that. The Knights series.
Oh,
Hold on. What is it?
What?
Hold on. Mush King, the King of Beetles. Number one seller, baby.
Wait, what?
It literally looks like a mobile game, but it was released in 2003.
Okay.
It's a card-based battle game.
Here's the
It's
thing.
on DS.
Here's the thing.
They even have like a little Tamagotchi kind of thing with
That's
it.
kind of cool. Or a Pokewalker type
What,
thing.
what is this? What is going on?
Oh.
Anyways,
don't
the
do
bottom line is you don't know.
Don't do Sega any favors.
I was a Nintendo
wait.
guy growing up. He had a what is it? The Game Gear, and all we can remember is we remember other games on Game Gear, but they weren't Sega games.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Like Aladdin.
Yeah.
Well, it's a Sega game. I had it on Game Boy too. It's just better on Game Gear.
Yeah. I had MLB 95.
Yeah, baby.
God. Now, or was it 97? I don't remember.
Oh man. So put it this way: we don't know a lot about Sega besides Total War and Sonic.
Well, I think we've established that it's not much more than that.
Well, Warhammer and Bayonetta. Well, Bayonetta they're kind of out of it, but
Right.
Warhammer is another one that apparently they've seen some
And
success
apparently
with.
Tetris. I don't know about that one.
OG Tetris.
I don't know about
OG.
that one.
They probably have publishing rights to the OG Tetris. I don't think they own the Tetris IP because we've seen Tetris Attack and a zillion other Tetris games. I don't remember seeing Sega's thing with that. Looking up who owns Tetris. Scroll down. You gotta look the publisher and developer.
Developer
Developer was Various and a whole bunch of people. Hold on.
What?
Do you see Sega listed in any
No.
of the... Yeah, right there.
What?
They created the Japanese arcade for it.
Oh.
So
How about
their
that?
rights to it are the Japanese arcade in Japan.
Oh, hey,
The
how about
OG
that?
release.
Hey,
So there you go.
How about that?
So there you go. So Sega doesn't technically own Tetris,
Yeah, I
but
was
they
gonna
probably
say.
own the rights to the Japanese arcade version of Tetris.
Interesting. Huh.
So there you go. Sega was involved.
Wow.
They just didn't actually make the game. They just made the arcade version in Japan. Basically means they probably ported the arcade version from the US. But
Yep.
hey, someone's got to do it.
Why not?
All right. Next up, we have just some other random games. They're from other developers. They might have other games in the works, but we're focusing on the big ones. Obviously, we played Unknown Battlegrounds. Fortnite. Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes. I debated on whether or not we should include that. A fan suggested we do. Technically more of an indie game, but No More Heroes 1 and 2 were kind of big deals on Wii, so...
Right.
Dark Souls Remastered from Software.
It's a game that's a definite. There's a possibility that it could come to Switch.
Sure.
So I understand why it's on this list.
Well, Travis Strikes Again is coming. It's a Switch exclusive.
All right. Okay. Well, there you
Yeah,
go.
it's coming to
No More
Switch.
Heroes. Yeah,
And then Shin Megami Tensei. So, we already know Travis Strikes Again and Dark Souls Remastered. Those are on Switch, period. They're on Switch. Even though the Dark Souls Remastered is delayed, it is on Switch. I want to focus more, because I think we're going to get a Shin Megami Tensei eventually on Switch, because they've had it on like 3DS and stuff in the past, so that's going to come. They literally just did Tokyo Mirage Sessions, which was Shin Megami Tensei X Fire Emblem. They just crossed over with a Nintendo IP last generation, so yeah, we're going to get Shin Megami Tensei. The ones that I'm not sure about is PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds and Fortnite. Those are the two big Battle Royale games. Fortnite, I think right now is... It's actually significantly more popular than PUBG, but PUBG is still huge. So, question is, which one do you want to see? I mean, both, ideally.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that... By the way, I have no experience. I've never played either one of them.
Neither have I.
Never played either one of them.
I don't know if
and
I really...
They both can run on it because both of them are on phones now. So, it's not a question of if Switch can run it. Of course it can. It's a question of, do the developers want to bring it? And then a question of which one would we rather play? And this is a divisive thing because Because of the mobile version and some people in our fan base having Apple phones and Android phones, we have people talking about PUBG's amazing, Fortnite's crap. And people say Fortnite's amazing, PUBG's crap. When
Well-
really neither one of them have probably even played the other game to even know.
I'm still the hell of
It the reason I like it is it reminds me of the old Sega versus Nintendo fans back in the day. It's like,
yeah.
my thing's better than your thing, even though I've never even tried your thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I don't know. I still gotta go with the heck with PUBG. Goddamn freaking.
Why?
It lost me the damn betting special again. Why do we have to? Why do? How is
I
this
just had to make you say it. I had to remind you how much you lost to lower your confidence for the E3 betting special. Not that your confidence is already low as is, but it's such a I think the betting special this year, because the last Road to E3 episodes of the betting special that Darren might be involved in if he ever decides to show back up. Yeah, it's going to be insane. It might only be between us because I was thinking of the loser should have to do something while we're in LA and get it on camera. I don't know what. Maybe let's go bungee jumping or something. I don't know, something crazy.
Stick a starfish up your rear end.
You must go into the ocean and find the nearest starfish and stick it up your ass. That would suck. You find the spikiest one.
Talk about a chocolate starfish.
Oh God. No, I don't know what the punishment is yet. I got that far ahead, but I'm thinking of making it multiple choice. There'll obviously be bonus bets where we just say crazy stuff, and who knows, maybe it comes and it's tiebreakers or whatever. It'll be worth the most points if we can get the crazy. As an example.
What were the switch? Rises onto the floor and.
Well, I'm thinking. I can tell you a multiple choice answer right now. One of the questions, we don't have to answer it now, save for the betting special, is will Furukawa reveal himself?
Ooh. I hope he doesn't, but okay.
Again, it just means is he going to appear?
I know.
Anyways, we'll get there when we get there.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
So fuck PUBG. You want Fortnite?
Yep. Not because I played either one of them, but
I mean, I want both.
Yeah.
Fortnite's more popular right now, so I would say Fortnite just for popularity's sake.
Yeah.
And I think people would love the idea that they're on their TV and they could take their multiplayer match with them to the shitter, so they don't have to die because they have to take a shit.
Yeah.
I know, with your phone you can do that too, but now you have a full controller. It actually might appeal to people who own that mobile device plus own a Switch. Would probably really love to play on a Switch. Plus, it's always been free to play, this Battle Royale mode, so it'd be sweet if it's also free to play on Switch. I would play it if it's free to play.
Yeah. Or do you think Nintendo's going to try to tuck it behind its paywall?
Oh, it'll be behind the paywall. Yeah. That's no doubt. Yeah. No doubt. If Fortnite or PUBG come, heck, this game Crazy Justice is coming out on Switch, which is going to be the very first ever Battle Royale game on Switch. It's going to be behind the paywall, guaranteed. But I'm going to be paying anyways, so it doesn't really matter.
But if you can play it everywhere, I guess everywhere else still has its.
Don't worry, bro. We're gonna have the family plan.
Ah, yes. Okay.
So we don't have to pay. Instead of paying $40 for both of us, we just pay $35.
Ah, okay.
Granted, we can attach 6 more switches on. I just don't know 6 other people with switches.
Right.
I know the community is gonna be like, you can attach me. You can attach me.
Right.
You can pay for it. All right. Anyways, I know it's not that expensive per year, but
yeah.
Besides all of this stuff, we're pretty much done with that. Is there any game in the world that if you could, old, new, or unannounced dream game, third party wise, you want on Switch? Just anything you could ever want in the whole world.
Is it really that hard? Conquer. I want a Conker's game. I want a Conker's Bad Fur Day game.
You had to go to a non-third party company for a third party game. They're a first party developer for Microsoft.
Yeah. Fine.
Sorry,
it's late.
Any Microsoft and Sony owned studios are off the table.
Fine, XCOM. There you go.
Going XCOM.
Yeah. And XCOM 3 would be nice.
You guys ready for this? I don't think they're ready. I don't think I can tell you guys. I may have to make you tune into the betting special. because this is a crazy bet I'm throwing out there.
Okay.
You're gonna have to wait. I don't want to say it because it's gonna give away part of the betting special. I mean, I could just change my bet, but no, I'm not going to do it. It's gonna shock and awe you that I'm throwing this out there for the bet. But we'll hold on to it. I'll give you a second tier game that I would like to see that isn't going to be part of my bet. We'll throw Overwatch out there.
Ah.
I'll toss some Overwatch out there. But this is the ace in the hole winner. The 5+ points that puts me in the lead when I'm down 4. Oh, it's going to be awesome. Anyways, folks, thank you for tuning into this this week's episode of the Nintendo Prime Podcast. Road to E3, episode 4. Week 4, I should say, episode 66. I don't know.
Yeah.
I do apologize again for us not having a third person on this week. What I can guarantee you is we will have at least 3 people next week. Not only because next week's an amazing week where we talk about Sony and Microsoft. Yes. Our second to last is where we talk about the competition. What we would like to see from them, what we expect, blah, blah, blah. That's when we can get really into the 2-hour press conference Microsoft's doing. And beyond all of that, I'm going to make sure we have guests because I'm not going to rely on Darren, who's supposed to be the person who gets us guests. I'm actually going to schedule people.
Hey, there you go.
And if Darren shows up and he happens to have guests, we'll just have a party.
Why not?
It's a party.
Set a record number of people on the podcast.
If I want to. Right if I want to.
Oh, good God.
You would cry too if I kept singing to you.
I'm about ready to. Yep, I'm done. Good night, everybody.
By the way, can't let it sign out like that. I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the podcast. We are now officially on Google Play. There's a link to that down in the description. We're on iTunes. We're not yet on SoundCloud. We're working on that. We are on Anchor.fm, Podbean, and obviously Patreon. Early on Patreon. It's the only one that's early. But all of our audio versions on those 4 major platforms. So now, Android users, you can get it off the Google Play Store or Podbean. iPhone users, you can get it off of iTunes or Podbean. And you can always access it on Anchor as well, at FM. Yeah. There you go. It'll eventually be on SoundCloud as well for people who prefer SoundCloud. Working on it. Anchor is supposed to put it on SoundCloud, but for some reason it hasn't happened yet, so I don't know what's up with that. But we'll make it happen. It'll happen. It'll be great. It'll be cool. No, our video version's only on YouTube, so unless you're not a Patreon backer,
yes,
it's technically still YouTube through Patreon. All right, guys.
And then you can go to the website, which still brings you back to YouTube. So
and we have just circled back around.
Yep.
Why am I doing a figure 8?
It's a circle. There's no calling us.
Life is like a circle. All right. Peace out, guys.
God.
I don't even think I'm pretty sure Mark passed out.
I don't know. Oh.
Because he stopped talking.
What just happened?
He was still responding to us.
Yeah.
Back until Starling.
Ah. Okay.
The amiibo-like figures are weird, and I hope not required.
No, they're not.
I know they will be, though. They said last year it's not required.
Until this year they come back and say, oh, by the way, they are.
The question I have is, are we still live?
I don't know. Possibly.
It says 2 watching. We are.
Yeah.
Life is like a circle.
Yeah, all right. Oh.
All right, so I have to